Welcome back to another Top 10s Day Wednesday video. In today's video, we're taking a look at the 10 most popular Angel commanders in the EDH format. Serra Angel was the first Angel ever printed in Magic the Gathering. It took nearly a year for another Angel to come aboard. This transpired in Legends when Fallen Angel and Gabriel Angelfire made their debuts, tripling the number of Angels in Magic. Now, Gatherer is filled with around 200 Angels, and today we're going to examine the 10 most popular Angel commanders as per EDHREC.com. The only criteria each creature on this list must meet is that it is an Angel and Legendary. Let's begin. Number 10 on this list is Archangel Avacyn. This is Avacyn's third iteration, as she originally appeared in Avacyn Restored and then later in Core Set 2015. Archangel Avacyn was printed in Shadows over Innistrad. She is a 4/4 flyer with Flash and Vigilance for 3 and 2 white. When she enters the battlefield, creatures that player controls gain indestructible until end of turn. Whenever a non-angel creature controlled by that player dies, Archangel Avacyn transforms at the beginning of the next end step. When she transforms, she becomes Avacyn the Purifier, a 6/5 flyer that deals 3 damage to each other creature and opponent after transforming. Avacyn's burgeoning madness is portrayed through this transformation. She was created to protect Innistrad, but later became a threat to it. This leads to a confrontation with her creator, Sorin Markov, who eventually ends Avacyn forever as depicted by the card Anguished Unmaking. Archangel Avacyn can be the general to a Boros Angel deck. Although she is prominently featured in a kitchen table deck, I currently do not play with Archangel Avacyn in any of my commander decks. Number 9 on this list is Tario, Reckoner of Souls. This Mardu Angel first appeared in the Heavenly Inferno pre-constructed deck from Commander 2011. Tario's inclusion in this deck provided the deck with an additional commander if, for some reason, Kali of the Vast did not suffice. Tario is a 4/7 flyer with Vigilance for 4 red and a white. Tario's controller can tap her and choose a creature card at random from target opponent's graveyard and put that card onto the battlefield under their control. Due to Tario's ability, her most popular theme is reanimation, as players will fill their opponent's graveyards for the purposes of maximizing the number of creatures Tario could reanimate. A popular equipment in Tario decks is Illusionist's Bracers, which, when attached to Tario, allows her controller to reanimate 2 creatures per activation instead of 1. Unfortunately, her effect is random, and because of this, I currently do not play with Tario, Reckoner of Souls in any of my commander decks, not even Kali of the Vast. Number 8 on this list is Bruno, the Fading Light. This is Bruna's second iteration, as she was one of the original Mythic Rare Angels from Avacyn Restored, alongside Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, Sigarda, Host of Herons, and Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Bruno, the Fading Light, debuted in Eldritch Moon. She is a 5/7 flyer with Vigilance and a mana cost of 5 and 2 white. Bruno is an Angel Horror, and when she enters the battlefield, her controller returns an Angel or human creature card from their graveyard to the battlefield. As an added bonus, at the beginning of their controller's end step, if that player controls Bruno the Fading Light and Gisela Broken Blade, then they are exiled and returned to the battlefield melded together to form Brisela, Voice of Nightmares. Brisela is 9/10, has flying, first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Additionally, opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less. Every commander deck listed through EDHREC.com with Bruno the Fading Light as its general also has Gisela Broken Blade in the 99. I feature Bruno the Fading Light in a kitchen table angel deck, but do not currently play with her in any of my commander decks. Number 7 on this list is Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Shalai made her debut in Dominaria. She has a mana cost of 3 and a white. She is a 3/4 flyer that gives her controller, planeswalkers, and other creatures that player controls hexproof. Shalai's activated ability places a +1/+1 counter on each creature that player controls for 4 and 2 green. Shalai is most popular in tribal builds, but she also is an effective commander in +1/+1 counter and token decks. She is a useful addition to Super Friends decks, as she can protect planeswalkers with her static hexproof ability, as well as boost the power and toughness of planeswalker-created creature tokens with her +1/+1 counter ability. From a kitchen table perspective, I play with copies of Shalai in a Selesnyan token deck and in a Planeswalker deck. However, I currently do not play with Shalai in any of my commander decks. She is not compatible with my Kalia of the Vast deck, but admittedly, she may fit well into my Saskia the Unyielding token build. Number 6 on this list is Morophon the Boundless. Travesty! This is definitely a cheat. Or is it? Morophon the Boundless is a shapeshifter with Changeling, which means that it is every creature type. Morophon doesn't have wings. Morophon doesn't have vigilance or lifelink. Morophon doesn't have a halo or sword. However, there's something heavenly about including Morophon in this top 10 list. Morophon technically meets this list's criteria for inclusion. Angels is one of the most popular tribes piloted by Morophon as per EDHREC.com, so its presence on this list is justified. Morophon the Boundless debuted in Modern Horizons and, as mentioned previously, is a shapeshifter with Changeling. When Morophon enters the battlefield, its controller chooses a creature type, Angels, of course. Spells of the chosen type cost white, blue, black, red, green less to cast, and creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. Morophon's mana cost is 7, which is similar to or within range of other Angels on this list. As a tribe, Angels have few creatures that boost power and toughness, but Morophon does this and also reduces the cost of Angel spells. Morophon is so beloved that every Sunday at MTG Burgeoning is Fun Day. As a shameless plug, check out our various Morophon the Boundless commander decks through MTG Burgeoning's video archive. Number 5 on this list is Gisela, Blade of Goldnight. As we move into the top 5 Angels of this list, we begin to see the power level heighten. That's definitely true with Gisela, Blade of Goldnight. Prior to compiling this list, I guessed that Gisela would be Angel number 1 or number 2. I am surprised that she is only number 5. As mentioned previously, Gisela is one of the mythic rare angels from Avacyn Restored. She is a Boros angel with a mana cost of 4 red, white, white. She is a 5/5 flyer with first strike, and if a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. Additionally, if a source would deal damage to Gisela's controller or a permanent controlled by that player, prevent half of that damage rounded up. Notice the text. It says if a source would deal damage to an opponent. It doesn't say if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent. Damage dealt by opponents to opponents will also deal double damage. Gisela is a game-ending force when she is on the battlefield. Although Gisela is not the general in any of my current commander decks, I have copies of her in the 99 in Kalia of the Vast, Niv Mizzet Reborn, and Kenrith the Returned King. Number 4 on this list is Aurelia, the War Leader. I still remember the day that Aurelia, the War Leader, was spoiled during preview season of Gatecrash. I thought to myself, the perfect Boros angel. While Aurelia may not be the perfect angel, she is a perfect representation of the Boros Guild. Still awaiting her first meaningful reprint, Aurelia is a 3/4 flyer with vigilance and haste for 2 red, and 2 white. It's the wall of text beneath her evergreen mechanics that propels Aurelia to the top of the Boros Angel pecking order. Whenever Aurelia attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Aurelia's haste enables her to attack the turn she enters the battlefield. This Relentless Assault ability generally has a converted mana cost between 4 and 6 mana, making Aurelia a game-ending value finisher in Boros colors. Although her Relentless Assault ability does not trigger when put onto the battlefield with Kalia of the Vast's attack trigger, I do have a copy of Aurelia in that deck in addition to my Niv Mizzet Reborn deck. Number 3 on this list is Sapphira, Sky's Blade. Sapphira is the most recently printed angel to make this list, and she has ascended up this list quickly. Sapphira debuted in Core Set 2020. Alongside Atemsis All-Seeing, Villis Broker of Blood, Dracuseth Maw of Flames, and Gargos Vicious Watcher, Sapphira was a part of a cycle of powerful legendary creatures with converted mana costs between 6 and 8. She is a 7/7 flyer with lifelink for 4 and 3 white. However, Sapphira's owner may pay white and tap 4 untapped creatures with flying rather than pay her full converted mana cost. Sapphira gives other creatures with flying that player controls indestructible. According to EDHREC.com, she is more popular as a commander in Bird and Spirit decks than she is in Angel Tribal decks. This makes sense to me because I would not tap 4 Angels in order to reduce the cost of Sapphira if she were in the command zone of an Angel Tribal deck. Nevertheless, Sapphira meets the aforementioned criteria and makes this list. Number 2 on this list is Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Serra Angel is Magic's first angel and was printed when Magic the Gathering arrived on the scene in 1993. A decade later, Akroma, Angel of Wrath, was printed and became Magic's most powerful angel, unseating the trailblazing Serra Angel. Nearly a decade after Akroma's debut, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, was unleashed and knocked Akroma from the perch of power just as she did to the original Serra Angel 10 years prior. Avacyn's debut was nearly 10 years ago. As 10-year cycles go, I wonder which angel will eventually claim Avacyn's top spot. Anyway, Avacyn is an 8/8 flyer with vigilance and indestructible for 5 and 3 white. She also gives indestructible to all permanents that player controls. Predominantly used as a general in Angel Tribal decks, she also appears as the commander in many Wrath decks. Possessing an entire battlefield of indestructible permanents makes it easier to cast spells like Akroma's Vengeance, Planar Cleansing, Austere Command, Wrath of God, and Armageddon. Maintaining a happy metagame while doing so may not be as easy. I play with a copy of Avacyn, Angel of Hope in my Golos, Tireless Pilgrim, and Kalia of the Vast decks. I also include a copy of Armageddon in the 99 of my Kalia deck. Although it is not a Wrath-themed deck, casting Kalia of the Vast early, getting Avacyn, Angel of Hope onto the battlefield quickly thereafter, and then casting Armageddon will generally end the game quickly, and hopefully not any relationships in the metagame. And lastly, number 1 on this list is Lyra Dawnbringer. She is the ultimate angel tribal leader as per EDHREC.com, and it's not even close. For the purposes of comparison, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, the number 2 angel on this list, has been around since 2012. Lyra Dawnbringer was released in Dominaria back in 2018. Despite Avacyn's 6-year head start, Lyra's presence as a commander in the EDH format outnumbers Avacyn by about 100 decks. Sapphira, Sky's Blade, and Morophon the Boundless are the only other angels on this list that were printed more recently than Lyra. She has rocketed to the top of this list in a relatively short period of time. How? For the traditional Serra Angel mana cost of 3 and 2 white, Lyra is a 5/5 flyer with first strike and lifelink. Lyra is Magic the Gathering's first angel lord, or lady, giving other angels you control +1/+1 and lifelink. As per EDHREC.com, over 90% of all decks listed with Lyra as their commander is an angel tribal build, with the remaining decks focused on life gain. I have a copy of Lyra in my kitchen table angel deck, but I currently do not have any copies of her in my commander decks. That'll do it for this top 10 list. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons on the way out. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.